Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfella of Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you, get 18% off. We out. Man, we back. Goodfella Sports TV, we in the building. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. And I just seen an article on Boxing Scene. You know, they kind of explain the whole, give me 1 minute. They kind of explain the whole step aside situation with Wilder and what it boiled down to. And you're going to hear Bob Arum, you know, say that he ain't willing to pay Wilder money to step aside. He don't know where $10 million come from. They played a role in the media really, really well. But I'm going to tell y'all exactly what it boiled down to and why this step aside didn't happen. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Check the heavyweight boxing playlist for more videos like this. And what it boiled down to was, other than Bob Arum being cheap, it boiled down to, in this article, and I put in the description, excuse me, it boiled down to Anthony Joshua and them still not wanting to fight Deontay Wilder. You can read the article. It ain't no other way to interpret it. You know, Eddie Hearn said that they want to get off to a clean slate. They don't have no obligations to fight Wilder. They don't want to fight Wilder under no circumstances unless he beat Tyson Fury. And then again, just knowing his bitch ass, him and AJ bitch ass, and I ain't gonna never stop saying that, they still wouldn't have went directly into a Wilder fight. Because remember, Dillian White is the mandatory for the WBC. See, Fury beat Wilder again. Wilder beat Pulev. We all know that's going to happen. Dillian White is still the mandatory, and Usyk is still the mandatory. See, excuse me, I said AJ. Eddie Hearn controls Usyk and Dillian White. He can make them step aside. They just didn't want to fight Deontay Wilder. That's it, and that's one of the things I told you guys. All you gotta do is piece what I say, and piece it together with what they saying. And the reason they didn't want to go through with this step aside was because they didn't want to give Wilder a shot at the winner of Fury and AJ. He said we'd rather do one fight or a 2-fight deal with Tyson Fury, but we didn't want to have no obligations to fight Deontay Wilder, you know, with step aside. So if Wilder would have just took the money wasn't coming from Eddie Hearn. I mean, coming from Bob Arum. The money was going to come from Eddie Hearn and them for Wilder to step aside. See, Bob saying, oh, I don't know where the $10 million came from. We know where it came from. I know who exactly it came from. It came from people at the Zone. The Zone was willing to pay Deontay Wilder. They said he wanted 15. I heard he wanted 10. They was willing to pay him that $10 million to step aside. And people saying, well, Wilder said he wasn't taking step aside money. Wilder said he wasn't taking step aside money. He told General Child this. Man, he not going to tell that motherfucker the entire truth. What my uncle nigga say, on mamas. He wasn't going to tell them the whole truth. I'm telling y'all what was going on. When Wilder demanded to have an immediate fight with the winner of AJ and Fury, that motherfucker said, Eddie Hearn said, no, we don't want to fight Wilder under no circumstances. Read the article. Now, if Wilder just would have took the $10 million or 15, whatever it was, and said, I ain't want no obligations, nah. That's just what it boiled down to. They still scared of Wilder. They still feel that Wilder is a bad matchup for Anthony Joshua. And I've said this 2-3 years ago. Oh, you just a Wilder lover. Nah, motherfucker, didn't I tell y'all I thought Tyson Fury won both fights? The first fight, I told y'all niggas that. Bad style for him. I've been keeping it 100 on all this shit. And that's what it boiled down to. With Wilder leaking to the media, and then what, you know, what they telling you, Bob Arum, I'm telling you, that nigga was in talks to step aside. He was thinking about it. 10 million or 15 million not to throw a punch. But all he truly wanted was a shot at the winner of AJ and Wilder. I mean, AJ and Fury. And they couldn't grant him that. But they wasn't willing to grant him that. Tyson Fury didn't care. Bob Arum shouldn't even care. That money wasn't coming out of his pocket. It wasn't. Bob Arum 1 minute talk about stepping aside and Wilder should step aside. Then the next moment he be speaking some, we ain't nobody stepping aside. Bob Arum don't control shit. Let me just say that again. Ty DeBuff is, his stepson is the Don Dada over there. Carl Moretti, guys like Bob Arum was like Jerry Jones. He the front man, he the showman. He the shyster. He don't really know what's going on. He ain't making decisions. Ain't no 90-year-old motherfucker making no decisions like that. Ty DeBuff and Carl Moretti and them motherfuckers is making the decisions. And that's what it boiled down to. But all this step aside fell apart. I'm going to tell you the truth. Because Wilder wanted an immediate shot at Fury and the AJ winner. And they said, let's Wilder win. And they even say, if Wilder win, beat Fury, we immediately want to go into that fight. He didn't say that. So if Wilder win, don't count on it being no undisputed clash. And there's a chance Wilder can win because Tyson Fury, he ain't never had a title defense before. Every time Tyson Fury up, he fall apart. He rarely got he rarely got multiple performances where he doing really, really well in a row. Tyson Fury is erratic as Josh Allen's accuracy for the Buffalo Bills. And that's the truth. So you can count on Tyson Fury probably going in there laying the egg. I'm telling you. That's not out the realm of possibility. Wilder getting back to basics, slipping, moving his head, using his jab, taking shit more serious, stop relying just on the big right hand. But this step aside all fell apart. It all fell apart because old AJ didn't want to fight Wilder. To this day, he don't want to fight him. They scared of that man. And that just lets you know, they know, I know, and real boxing motherfuckers know, styles make fights. Everybody knows styles make fights. And they know Wilder's style is a bad style for AJ. If Andy Ruiz can hit him with that garlic butter, that butter parm, pop, 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 he can hit him with that butter parm. All Wilder need is one. They don't really believe Wilder's this damaged good dude like that. They said, Wilder lose to Fury again, we are not going to fight him. That's what he said. If he beat AJ, we'll fight him. But not immediately. I'm telling you that right now. They going to make Dillian White. They're going to secure that mandatory. AJ going to fight Usyk. So the whole world praying and hoping that Fury beat Wilder and they have an undisputed clash. That's what they hoping on. Me personally, I don't give a hell about their undisputed clash. Both of them some marks. AJ is a pussy, and I ain't never mentioned no words about that. He's a pussy. And Fury is a cheat, dope fiend, cokehead motherfucker. I ain't missing no words. And I always been objective when it come to them three motherfuckers. Real talk. But that's where it fell apart at. You want to sit there and I'm telling you, man, I know people that's like there, like in that conversation. Wilder was thinking about it. Wilder wanted 10 million. The Zone was saying it was 15 million. They're always going to exaggerate. He wanted 10 million. The hang up why this step aside fell apart because AJ was unwilling to fight Wilder. See, if Wilder lose to Fury, he ain't got no obligations unless he get re-ranked. And nobody knows if Wilder want to start from the bottom. Now we here. He want to move to nobody knows that. But if he was to beat Fury and Wilder just tune up, he would have to see Wilder regardless unless he lost that tune up. He said he know the probabilities was in his favor just fighting Puev, getting the bag. Fury handling the dude he was scared of. You know what I'm saying? And then they fight. This way, you ain't got Dillian White as a bodyguard, and he ain't got Tyson Fury as a bodyguard to protect him from Wilder. Wilder just sit there. All he can do is pray on the tune-up to catch Wilder and beat him. You know, and that ain't as good a percentage as Wilder and Fury and White stopping Wilder, but it's a percentage there because you don't know where Wilder's head is mentally at. You don't know how much he can improve with another coach. You feel me? So, like I said before, this all boiled down due to AJ now being still scared of Wilder, not wanting to fight the man. That's why the step aside. You want to believe Wilder said, I'm not stepping aside. That's something he was completely thinking about. He dealing with multiple injuries right now. His only demand other than money was to get a direct shot at the undisputed champion. But check that article out in the boxing scene and they don't add up to what I'm telling you. You just retarded. But hey, don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Best way to reach out to me is Twitter. All my social media links description. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App, PayPal description. Best way to donate. Share the video. Appreciate the love, support. One time for one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfellas, Goodfellas Sports TV. We gone.